Okay, welcome everyone to the stream, to the podcast. My name is LolsShow. You can call me Lols, you can call me Ilya Lols, as you like, and I welcome everyone to the second episode of the Geometrical Podcast. Please, chatters, can you hear me correctly? Can you hear me properly? And can you understand me, at least? Need some feedback from the chat. Okay, nice. So today we have a special guest that I invited almost randomly. To be fair, this guest is, I hope, he's a really tasty one. Goated YouTuber, decent creator, and overall a great man. Welcoming JAMATTACK. Okay, so Jam, you are now unmuted. You can speak to the audience.
Yo, what's up?
Yes.
That taste comment was weird. I'm not sure how to feel
you literally a jar with filled with a jam. So
you're eating my insides.
Oh.
This is off to a strange start. Anyway,
yeah.
what's up?
Okay, so
Hi.
Hi. Okay, so first of all, how are you feeling today? What's up in your mind?
That's I get that question on stream a lot, and I never know how to answer it. People are like, "How you doing?" I'm like, "I don't know." I'm doing pretty good today. Let's see. I woke up, edited a video, and went for a walk, and now I'm here. So not a very eventful day, but this is fun. I've never done anything like this before, so I'm a little. Actually, I wasn't feeling nervous until now, but I think this will be fun. Fun experience.
Wait for a minute. People saying that stream is over. Think froze. I don't know what's happening.
It's still going for me. Yeah, it's still going on.
Oh, okay. I'm so scared. Like
the bandwidth issues.
Yeah, the bandwidth issues. Yeah, I was so scared for a second. So, like, please, do not troll me, okay? So, okay, we will continue our conversation. So, I want to say that thank you for accepting my offer in the first place. Pleasure to see you here.
No problem. I sounded fun.
Yeah. So let's speedrun some common questions that I'm asking to everyone. So the first question: why did you start playing Geometry Dash, and how did you discover it? So please, your turn. Like answer.
Mm-hmm. Well, I knew about this game back in like 2013 because I had a friend, or not, it wasn't a friend, but it was a kid in my class who played it on his iPad all the time, but I kind of forgot about the game. I started rediscovering like content. I think I watched Boffice back in like early 2.0 and I was like, oh, this is interesting, but then I forgot about it again. And the thing that finally got me to get the game was I just had a friend in high school in late 2016 who was like, because I was a big Super Hexagon fan at the time, he was like, if you like Super Hexagon, you'll probably enjoy Geometry Dash. And so I bought it on Steam, and I was addicted instantly.
Like, for me, though, I discovered this game in the one Russian tech forum called 4PDA, like, 10 years ago, in version 1.1, and still playing it. I can. Many people like joking, like think that I'm a dinosaur of this.
I wish
game.
I had that.
Yeah. So, are you playing from like 1.8? Like.
Okay, so yeah, I started in like very late 2.0, so I only ever experienced one update until 2.2 came out, and it was like after a month of playing, so I hardly even could tell what changed. I was like, oh, this finger dash level is new. Oh, I don't remember this spider mode. The editor looks a little different, but I didn't really know what was going on at the time. So yeah, most of my time playing was in 2.1. I kind of envy people who have started this game a lot earlier, because I think it would have been cool to be a part of like the game's deeper history, because I'm so fascinated by that. I love like I've done building challenges, building in earlier updates. I've like actually downloaded APKs for them. I think it's really fun, like working with the creative limits. I'm like really interested in the deep like old history of this game. So part of me wishes that I started playing this game sooner.
Yeah, this is like some prehistoric era, I suppose, where this game is not as mainstream as it is. Like, it gained its popularity in 1.9 or 1.8, something like that, when YouTubers started playing this and such.
To be fair, I didn't have a phone when I was like a younger teenager, so I wouldn't have been able to start playing till 1.9, but still that would have been cool.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's reasonable.
Yeah, no, honestly, I was annoyed at my parents at the time, but looking back, I'm like, it's kind of nice not having this rectangle of doom in my pocket all the time.
Wait, how old are you right now?
I am 23.
Damn, okay.
Yeah, I'm a geezer.
So far, this season started with some persons at their 20th, or I forgot extra like 30. I don't know. I really forgot.
Wow, damn. Doesn't sound that old, but to be fair, neither do I. I also sound younger than I am, so.
So I wanted to ask you, like several years ago, as I discovered your videos, like, why did you started the YouTube as a whole? Like, you just like some creator and you started doing YouTube stuff.
My journey with YouTube has had a lot of different parts to it and evolved a lot over time. I think when I first started doing YouTube, I just wanted to just upload stuff I made. I think the first thing I did was I uploaded my music to my music channel that I need to actually upload to again. I've been too lazy to. But then after that, I started, like, I had a friend in high school who would make these little, like, vlog type things and just talk about, he'd, like, try to give, like, deeper advice in life, but it was like a 15-year-old, so the advice sucked. But I was like, that's cool, and so I started doing that too. And then I just messed around and made some videos. I made not nearly as much as they did, but then, you know, I started playing Geometry Dash, and so I was already uploading like my super hexagon completions and like little gameplay stuff to no avail, getting like a couple dozen views at most. I started doing Geometry Dash, and just over time, I just stuck with it, and I started to build up an audience. And as my, you know, subscriber count goes up, I start to get more views and more recognition. I just started thinking, you know, I can put more effort into this, and I started putting more and more effort into actually trying to make real content. And there's different stages to that. If I pull open my YouTube channel, I think what was the first video I actually put genuine effort into? If I go to my videos and sort by latest, because I'd made some little like video essays and stuff, but I think it was my videos on World talking about the random trigger and the scale trigger that were the first ones I actually put effort into.
Mm-hmm.
And then my next big change in how I approach content creation was ranking every Jonathan GD level. Like, I put way more effort than I had ever put into anything in that. Like, I worked on that video for a couple months. Just like with the writing. And then obviously 100 hours was a huge changing point for me. That took so much like work of how to develop and invent the systems to make that possible. And so that kind of built off of that. And then more recently, building a game in a game, I tried a lot of new things with that one. So I'm always just experimenting and evolving, and just as I kind of learn the ropes of how to make videos, I get more confident, and I'm willing to try more complicated, higher effort things. That's how I've always been. am kind of like really lazy with things at first, but as I get familiar with them, I start to really like to push myself.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I kind of rambled there.
Yeah, I say like your content in one of the best content in the like Geometry Dash YouTube. I'm serious right now. Like
Thanks.
I'm like generally speaking, I'm sitting on the YouTube as a whole in the Geometry Dash YouTube for a really long time, and your content is like seriously different from the other. It is like some chill progression, building storytelling about your projects, and some quirky stuff. And this is entertaining. And
I think. I think a big part of that is the fact that I take inspiration from a lot of other content outside of Geometry Dash. I've talked to other GD YouTubers, and most of them like spend a lot of time watching other GD YouTubers. I do a little bit of that, but most of my inspiration comes from content outside of this game. Hermitcraft and like Minecraft content mainly, I'd say, and a little bit like devlog stuff and just all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, Hermitcraft is like I can see some inspiration in your works. Like I guess what's like favorite content creators from Hermitcraft?
I like a lot of them, but definitely my favorite, like content-wise, is Mumbo and Grian.
Yeah,
they just develop their videos in ways that are really easy to watch. And then also, I do keep up with Good Times with Scar because I love his approach to building. I learned so much from that.
I really love the Mumbo because his content is like he's a redstoner mainly, but he's saying and he doing his videos about redstone like you said, it's really easy to watch. It is not filled with some nerdy stuff. You can sit and watch the entire thing without getting bored. And I think that aspect is one of your main inspiration to make your videos, because the pace of your video is pretty chill, but still really entertaining and giving the retention people like love to see it.
Yeah, the thing about if you're going to make a video like recapping 100 hours of work, something like that, you can't go into the nitty-gritty details of everything. And so you're kind of forced to give like a general overview and pick bits and pieces that you're like, oh, I think people would find this interesting. And so you find the pieces that are like actually interesting pieces. And that's all you need to make a good video. You don't need to use everything and explain every step of the process. You just need to make sure the parts you do choose are interesting and cohesive. And then you kind of generally show progress of what you're making over time, and people get to see it come together. And they don't see the whole process, because that's going to take so much to try to explain. They just get to see little bits and pieces, and that's still really interesting to people.
Yeah, can agree, can relate. But one of the main questions I want to hear an answer: why jam? Why the jar with jam, and what jam do you contain? Like strawberry?
Oh yeah, okay. So first of all, it's raspberry jam.
Raspberry.
So it used to be strawberry, then I decided I like raspberry more. I don't know.
I would joke, but I won't.
Yeah, no, I've said this before, I think in a Q&A video I did, but I just chose this name when I was like 13, and I came up with this like weird little jam jar I made in like this old 3D program called Bryce 4. I was just messing around. He had like these big eyeballs and like this pointy nose, and I gave him like headphones. And that was the first iteration of JAMATTACK. I just thought it had a cool ring to it at the time. Looking back, like it would be kind of nice to pick a name that's a little more, I don't know, aesthetic and like JAMATTACK's a little goofy, but then I was, I've been thinking over a long period of time now, and it's pretty good. Like, obviously, you look at creators like Captain Sparkles with a Z, or like Technoblade, and you realize that a lot of these creators just have really goofy, silly names that they came up with, like on the spot when they were a teenager, have like a funny origin behind them, and it doesn't really matter, because you kind of like define your own meaning for your name through what you make, and that's what I've been focusing on, like in my content. More, especially more recently, especially with the making a game in a game in a game. I focused a lot on like how I presented myself in this like kind of like cozy way, I guess.
I really enjoyed it.
Set.
Yes, I really enjoyed watching this video.
Thank you. But yeah, and like focusing on the way I talk and just the kind of energy I convey, and just doing whatever feels most right to me without worrying so much about the brand I do it under. Because obviously you could have a brand that's like Poop Master 64 or something, and that's not gonna work. But you know, to a certain degree, it does have an effect, but not a huge one. Anyway, the jam thing though is just like, yeah, it's just a thing I randomly came up with, and I do like the whole jam thing. I came up with the idea of the Jam Factory a few years ago, and I'm like making lore around them and everything, and it's just a fun gimmick to kind of like have a direction to go with what I make. And that's not everything I make, but it just gives me like a direction, you know.
I'm reading a chat right now, and Poopmaster 64 went Peacewise 128 walks in.
Damn.
And by the way, about the nicknames, like you can see that my nickname is really, really old. Like I made it in when I was 12. Or 10. Yes, when I was 10, when I was playing Minecraft. It was like 9 years ago. Almost 10. So, but I wanted to change my nickname, but it was too iconic for me and for all my general audience and people who know me in the Russian community, because I am, let's say I am somewhat recognizable in the Russian community. People know me, and if I change my nickname, I will change my brand, and I don't know. I don't want to say yes. I don't want to say goodbye for my goofy nickname. But still, like the lols in general, like my the first 4 letters is kind of going hard, I guess.
Yeah, I like it. I could definitely see that. It's punchy. That's all that matters. Is that it's to the point. Is the stream? Oh yeah, the stream's just buffering for me. It's fine. We're good.
Yeah, I hope so. And do you know about the cherry team? Yes.
Oh yeah,
What do you think about this team in general and their works?
But is Vermin still? He's just not Vernum, not Vermin. Vernum. Although that name also works. Is like not. He's still in charge, right? Just not running the Twitter.
Yeah, he's not running the Twitter right now.
I don't like that guy.
Many don't like him, to be honest. Not me though, because I'm genuinely working on for Cherry Team right now, and like you can say anything, I will not be like mad or something, or tell Vernum about your opinion. Like opinion is a human thing. Like yes, I'm not a creator. I'm not a creator. I'm not a gameplay creator. I am a staff. Like doing some work in team, like recruiting new people and like.
There's a lot of
Yeah. So.
Oh, did you cut? I think you cut out.
Oh wait. Can you hear me right now?
I can hear you.
Okay. So. So you can like. Okay, so we will not include Vernum in like Cherry Team. What you can say about the works of this team?
Yeah, I was gonna say like. There are a lot of great people in Cherry Team, and I don't think like a few bad characters in the team like define the overall like everyone in there. As far as the works go, I'm gonna be honest here, I've never been huge on collabs. Like I think the only mega collab I've ever genuinely been super interested in was Castlemania.
Yeah.
So I've just never been that big. I like solo projects and like the personal touch that they have of like this one person had this idea and made it real, and it's like their own creation from their own imagination. I think that's cooler personally. I will say Cherry Team collabs definitely are a mix. Some of them are really cool. There's some really good ones that I like.
Cytokinesis, for example, for me though, like I really adore this level.
Yeah, and then I mean there's other ones that are kind of, I don't know, feel like slight cash grabs, like remaking. There's like a Cosmos sequel, right?
Yeah, not the sequel, but the unearthed buffed version decoration. Like the the Arshadow, the main verifier of this project, is like a beast. He's buffed silent. Cool. Yeah, he buffed a silent level. Like seriously, like, and not just minor changes. He buffed it to the Oblivion, and like not a what's his name? Like he was verifiering one of the Azure Flare. Like yes, that level called Azure Flare. Yes, that's one of that's hardest 9 circles level right now. That not
I don't
verified.
Keep up that much with like top levels.
Aiden, I remember Aiden. So Airshadow is not like Aiden. He's doing really good progresses on that. But I will say that for me, doing the another copy of the Cosmos is kinda out of place, but I can get it. So yeah.
Yeah. There's like I just remember seeing like a showcase of like some 2.2 stuff that was just spamming shaders horribly. So there's some stuff like that. Also, the other thing I wanted to say is when it comes to my favorite levels in the game, there's just certain qualities I look for that Cherry Team levels don't tend to have. It's also a problem I have with Blee levels. I really like Blee's levels.
Blee? Okay. Mm-hmm.
But it's just something, you know, when a lot of people say like he's the best creator in the game, like I can recognize the talent there and I like the levels, but for me the best creations in the game are the ones with like tonal variation and like atmosphere and pacing, stuff like Well Rested, Dark Odyssey, The Clouds Give Way, The End by Xylonox. Those are the levels I really like. The ones with like more of a rich atmosphere to them. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm. The end, by the way, the end by Xylonox is such a perfect ending for the career in Geometry Dash. Like,
oh, for sure.
This is like, wow! I'm genuinely blown up. Like, while watching this video, I'm like teared up seeing that he's fleeing. But no, he's a really good speedrunner in the Minecraft. Like the VR holder and such. Like, good for him. Like, seriously.
Yeah. It's crazy how multi-talented that guy is.
Yeah. So, and about like the passion creation, do you want to make a platformer in like the platformer level, the 2.2 platformer level, not the that used the engine from the U8?
Yeah. My relationship with platformer is complicated, and this I have to explain like a couple things with my plans involving it, I guess. So first of all, I actually did try making a platformer level right after 2.2 dropped, but the thing is, like, it was a project that I was kind of excited about at first. It had interesting ideas, but I lost motivation really hard with it because it didn't have like the thing that keeps me going with a lot of my levels is like the deeper lore and like storytelling and world building that it creates. And this one, I just wasn't very interested in the world I was creating with it, I guess. But it was still taking a long time to make, and so I got burnt out and I dropped it. As far as like future plans with platformer levels, it might be a while before I give it another try. I don't have a lot of ideas when it comes to platformer levels, though I do have one idea. And it is for a platformer level that I would spend probably around 1,000 to 2,000 hours on that would be like a full game. It would have 7 separate, like, decently sized levels inside it, each one with a boss fight. And that would, I guess I can spoil the idea, that would be what Jamskirt's Full would be. So that's an idea I have, but I'm not going to say more about that. So, as far as like smaller platformer projects, I have a few ideas that have started to come up in my head, but the thing about platformer mode, I like making stuff in this game because of music representation. That's one of my favorite parts about building stuff in Geometry Dash, and I don't get as much of that with platformer mode.
Yeah, it is really hard to represent a song. Like, the Tower Verse by 16 Lord, if I remember correctly his nickname, it's pretty decent level, actually, for a Mythic, and many people said that this not deserved Mythic, but I'd say that this deserves, because he used all of the features of the editor, the new 2.2 editor, and implemented like really nicely. Yes, the level design is like I don't like this. It is too it has potential. It had potential, but it flopped a little, like in terms of level design. But in general, like the story and the open world concept is really nice. RobTop need to add like the global checkpoints for the levels.
That's the other thing. That's the thing keeping me from making Jamskirt's Full. Like, I kind of just want to wait until like checkpoints that save your progress after exiting the level.
You can,
in your save
you can make like genuine games like for 7 or 8 hours of playthrough if you will have this global checkpoint thing, like which saves progress.
Wild, yeah.
Yeah, like Geometry Dash is the game engine and engine, but not now, but later. Like the only crucial part, I guess, is this. If this got implemented, we will see the rising the Geometry Dash as a game engine, like fully game engine.
Yeah, it's already wild what people have like just already made in it. Like I remember that person recently who was making like a fully 3D level and like a 3D engine using gradient trigger and keeping up with that, and then like EBW played that.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like I genuinely confused. Like, what the hell is going on? Like,
I mean, I know the basics, very basics of the fact that it uses the gradient trigger, which is just like a polygon trigger.
Overpowered.
It's a quadrilateral trigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you use that to create 3D graphics because you just have to like. I've messed around with trying to make 3D engines like in some programming languages before. It's really hard to do. I've always given up. But like you have to just define the vertices in 3D space. So you move them around the points that the polygons are being drawn between in 3D space, and then you draw like this mesh of polygons, and that because you're mapping it to a 2D screen. And then the hard part is like choosing what order to draw them in, and I have no idea how you do that in Geometry Dash. Like that's got to be insane.
Yeah, like that's why we need some little bit of code shenanigans to make it true. And the thing with the 3D engine is that you need to include a logic of the optimization, because the game will flop if you include all of the polygons that will be rendered, even though if you're behind it. So yeah, that's some simple game logic. And by the way, about the games, what games do you like playing? Like what other than Geometry Dash?
I haven't been playing a lot of games lately. I've been kind of busy with a lot of stuff, but I have been playing Pizza Tower on stream. I'm trying to P-rank everything. I love that game.
Yeah,
my favorite games of all time, I'd have to say, I've always played a lot of Minecraft on and off. That's the only other game I've spent thousands of hours in, I'd say. Then I definitely I really like Undertale, Luigi's Mansion, Dark Moon. I have fond memories of Pokemon Mystery Dungeons, Explorers of Sky. Portal 2 is one of my favorite games ever. It's like a big part of the inspiration behind the Jam Factory, obviously.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to think. I think there's like a few others that Superliminal. That's a banger game. I remember playing that.
I heard of it.
It's a bit more of a niche one.
Yeah. But for me, like, Minecraft is one of the best game I've ever played and continue playing.
For real.
Yeah, for real. Like, for now, I'm not a player of Minecraft, but rather a modpack developer and a server developer. Like, we right now with my friend are doing a custom server core.
That's pretty cool.
For the service, yes. And I saw many people like quitting Minecraft because it is so boring and such. But for me, if you want to stay in Minecraft but it gets boring, just find another thing that you can do in it, like developing mods, like developing mod packs, playing on the competitive side instead of building, or vice versa.
Yeah. You also have to have like pretty tangible, clear goals with those things as well, so you have know what direction you're going.
Yeah, this can be applied in the Geometry Dash too, because you can be bored of this game, and this is completely, with all honesty, this is completely true, because I'm almost quitted this game when update 2.1 is out, like just out. But somehow I convinced myself to stay, and for right now I am doing some things in it. Like for now I'm one of the first persons who discovered that Globe is out on the Geode, and one of the first one who tried to mainstream it. Like I've sent it to the huge YouTubers in the Russian community. Like we have them, like with I guess the biggest one is nearing 1 million right now. It's like 800,000 subscribers.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't keep up much with the Russian community, but that's a lot, dang.
Yeah, this is like a really old one, but from the newest, like we have 300,000 subscribers, 400,000 subscribers. We have a lot of people, and I've sent them the link. Like, check this out. The like cool multiplayer mode is out, and then like after like some week passed, and everyone saying about the Globe. And everyone saying about the geode itself, because I thought that it will stay as a niche product, but now it's a really mainstream and really powerful tool.
Geode is literally just like the cursed forge of Geometry Dash now. It's wild.
Yeah. By the way, you use it, right?
Yeah, I use Geode.
What mods do you use, like, for the general play through, like, yeah?
I can scroll through really quick and see which ones I have installed. I don't remember all of them off the top of my head.
After you say your list, I will speak about one particular mod that I have.
Alright, epic.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see, I have YouTubers. It shows like YouTubers and popular figures in the community, like by giving them a special badge and a special text color on their comments. I don't know, it's just kind of fun. I've been like searching around and just installing interesting stuff I find.
Yeah, by the way,
unlisted objects.
By the way, about the YouTuber thing, this should be implemented in GD. Like, this is a really cool feature.
Yeah, I think there should be like not just YouTuber, but just like public figures.
No, YouTubers be fine, because public figures, it's like to be so cluttered, I guess. Like, YouTubers should be fine. This should be like
like streamers.
Yeah.
Or just like a big public figure as like one big role that you give to anyone.
Maybe.
I also have unlisted objects in the editor that gives you like old objects that have been removed from the editor. Texture loader, I haven't messed around with texture packs, but I kind of want to. Mini next free, it just lets you define your next free offset with adding groups. That's nice. Mega Hack Pro. I have level pronouns. I don't have it turned on. I was just messing around with some friends. I had Grandpa Demon as well.
I thought about the Grandpa Demon. I thought that this like a meme kind of thing, but this is a generally good mod for indicating difficulty for the extremes. Like what?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's the best way to do it. I gotta love Kiba. And then I have hide spelled H and then ID capitalized and E, which hides the IDs of your levels in like the editor menu. So I can stream working on levels and I can like upload them unlisted and people won't see the ID. So that's nice. I have Google Translate, which only half works anyway. Globed I have turned off. I only turn it on when I'm doing like a video or something with it because it seems to crash the game a lot.
Yeah.
Geometrize to GD, I have that turned off. GD share I don't have on. Those are just things where I just kind of turn them on if I need them.
Mhm.
GD roulette I have that turned off because people were saying it was crashing their game for some reason. GD tweaks.
GD tweaks is goated mode.
I don't.
GD utils. You have to GD
don't
utils.
use it. I don't actually. Oh no, I don't use GD tweaks. I just installed it by accident.
Ah,
Instead of it
okay.
turned off.
But GD utils. Do you use this?
I don't think I have that one.
This mod is actually really fun because one of the like I don't know, like one of the funniest thing here is like it gives a pop-up when a new level is rated, is placed to the daily or the weekly. Like this is really great for like I don't know, seeing that the game is alive.
Yeah. GD utils. How do you spell it?
GD. I will GDUTILS.
Is it like one word? Oh,
yeah,
it is.
yeah. This is a really fun mod. And what about the better edit? Do you use it?
Okay, so here's the thing about better edit, and I really hope this gets fixed. I don't think it's been fixed yet. Better edit requires. It doesn't have any issues that I'm experiencing on its own, but it requires custom keybinds, which has this bug where if you do something like hold a keybind down like Control Z and then you hit Shift, I think it is, while that's held down, and then you let go of the keys, it'll keep like acting as if you're holding down Control Z. It'll keep undoing everything like super rapidly. And it's so annoying to deal with that I just don't use better edit because I don't want to deal with that.
By the way, the HD Ford said that he want to make a pro version of the better edit, like the paid version of it. I think it's if he implement like something really breathtaking, like I don't know, live editor thing. Okay, sure. Cool. By the way, about the live editor, the Akin, like I guess that's her name. She's doing like a editor collab. Do you heard of this mod?
Is that back in 2.2?
Yeah, 2.1. Yes, it's back to 2.1 when you can like build a level with others in one space.
Yeah, I've used that in 2.1. I guess it hasn't been ported to 2.2.
Yeah,
yet,
because it going to be integrated with Globed, and
that makes sense.
And we'll port it to the mobiles too. That's why it's like delayed so much, and I'm waiting.
That sounds hard.
Yeah, I'm really waiting for this because I don't know. This is kind of cool to you can like make a collab with the people in one space. We actually back in 2.1 I with my friends did a collab where each of us building some stuff, and we did it like in 3 hours. But it it is so shitty. So
Imagine.
yeah, because we rushed it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so my only experience using the live collab editor was Tricipital was actually streaming. He was getting like other creators on these like weekly streams using the live collab editor, and we made a level. I think what was it called, like Synergy or something. But that level makes me upset because the very last part of it, Tricipital has this problem where he's like super ADHD and just like when something is almost done, he just wants to get it out. And so like the last couple parts are super rushed. But other than that, it's like a really sick level. You guys should check it out. Is that what it's called? Synergy Tricipital. Oh, Synergize. Yeah, you should look up Synergize by Tricipital and more. Because that was a level built entirely with live collab editor. And then me and Kiba were there for the first half of the drop, and we added like an obsessive amount of effects, and then it's like the energy drops so much in the next stream when me and Kiba weren't there. It's really funny.
Oh, by the way, do you have the contact with Stride? Yes.
Contact with Tried, yeah, I do.
Can you can I get through you in contact with him? I want to invite him to my podcast too. So
he'd probably be interested in that. I mean, yeah, we can talk about that after the podcast. I can send you over his. I'll mention it to him.
Okay. So I wanted to ask about why your project are so huge in terms of time you've spent, like 500 hours, almost nearly. Your new project estimated will be estimated in like 1,000 hour.
I don't know how long this next one's gonna take. I was just a random person on stream who like gave a random guess of like 1,300 and something hours. I just included that because I was like, it'll be interesting to compare how long it actually takes with that random guess. But I don't think it'll take that long. There's a few. There's definitely a few sub questions that need to be answered here when it comes to like why my projects take so long. First of all, you build up those skills over time. So I used to do smaller projects. I think my first level that I released at all took like 30 hours, and then over time I like made a couple projects that took like 70 hours and then 90 hours, and then finally with Jam Factory as when I started getting more into world building, and I spent 200 plus hours on that level, and that was a big turning point for me. But then from there, World took like 150 hours, but then Cellar Path took like 460 hours. Glorious Fortress took like 530 hours. So you kind of like get used to doing these big projects. I think a lot of doing a project that big is needing to have self-confidence that all that work is going to amount to a finished product and that it's going to be something worth making. So you have to do enough projects that you have that confidence that you can put in that amount of work and not drive yourself insane.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's unsurety. I think unsurety that what you're doing is going to amount to anything is the biggest demotivator you can experience. At least for me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh? And then the other thing I wanted to talk about with how big my projects are is just the fact that I'm actually now trying to address that. It's like it's gotten to a point where it's kind of a problem, because I was very inspired by like seeing Jonathan GD and how much time he spends on his levels. Other creators. There's other creators who spend like a ton of time on their levels. I'm like, I admire that dedication. But on the other side, you see Jonathan GD building, and he's like obsessively, like meticulously placing down like these little spike objects with like a number that has like their group number and color ID like all next to them, and like manually writing them all out to like a point where it's kind of insane. And it's like you can go too far the other direction. And so that's something I see creators like Blee and Subwoofer who make these really good levels relatively quickly. Like, you check their in-editor hours. I mean, Blee spent like 60 hours on Absolute Garbage, like 200 hours on Change of Scene, which is basically like a 7-minute level with tons going on. And Subwoofer, I think the only time he's ever even passed 100 hours was on Growing Insane, and yet their levels are really amazing. So I'm trying to like look at what they do. I think a big part of that is just like taking a lot more time to just find inspiration and like plan out your ideas and use references and like consume media that's similar to what you want to create, and look around you in the world and kind of like study things. Art studies are a big thing that people do, and so I'm trying to approach that and do that more. That's why with Little Mountain Town, the level I'm making right now, I want to spend 100 hours on the layout, and that's because I want to like really plan the thing out way more. Because I noticed with Glorious Fortress, there were a lot of things that made it take as long as it did, but one of the biggest ones was the fact that I just like didn't know how to decorate the gameplay I'd made. Block design is hard. People are right. That's why it takes me so long to make levels, because block design is hard. But I'm addressing that because now I'm actually thinking about the structuring and like what I'm trying to, like these buildings and rocks and different things I'm trying to create, so that when I want to make block design, I already know what I'm going for and like how to structure it. Because that takes so much trial and error. Like I end up deleting so much stuff, and it makes me procrastinate too. I'm just sitting there kind of like mindlessly scrolling in the editor, trying to rack my brain of things to do. I'll be streaming, I'll just be talking to chat, procrastinating on even making anything because I don't have an idea of what to do. Whereas when I have an idea of what I'm going to do, when I have that clear idea, I'm very effective at like getting things done. And so I'm trying to address that issue. I don't know how much that'll help yet, but that's something I'm definitely trying to work on, because this is the most important thing. This is the most important takeaway. You need a good balance between hard work and dedication, sticking through projects for the long run, putting in the work, balanced with being a little lazy and taking shortcuts and cutting corners, and just being smart how you approach things to the point where you can get more done with less work. Like, work smart, not hard, but also work hard enough that you end up doing a good enough job to create the thing you're trying to create. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like, for me, as a creator, creator in the quotes, I would say that I lack of the, I don't know, my behavior is too ADHD, am I right? Like, I'm dropping.
What is?
Don't worry. I'm just saying that I'm dropping my project really easily. Like, I only one time I finished my first full solo gameplay. It is called My History, My Story. And it was made, it is almost 2 minutes long, and it was made in complete hysteria. I'm really serious right now. I'm like listening to can you hear the music? The one OSC from the Oppenheimer, and I was crying for hours. I'm really serious, and these emotions, I just opened Geometry Dash as my new canvas and started building rapidly. And I still think that this is my proudest work in terms of the general atmosphere, because
it helps so much to be inspired.
Yes, the in whole the Geometry Dash you can express your emotions and your some of your life in this, because it's way easier than, I don't know, making an art piece or doing a music. In my opinion, like making a simple layout is way easier for the person.
The ability for music representation is what makes that so effective. And one thing that made me think of is actually with Little Mountain Town, the idea I have for it, I've actually genuinely cried at the idea of what I want to create with it several times. But I also am aware that with how much work it's going to take, I will become desensitized to everything I'm creating for a while. But then I think once I finish the project and put it out there and let that impact other people and see the impact it has on other people, then I'll start to get that back, and that's what I'm hoping on.
Yeah.
That's just what you get with like huge projects. You kind of become desensitized to that over time. That initial inspiration can get you going, but it doesn't carry you through hundreds of hours of work, you know. So you have to find, I guess you have to find little things in there. You have to find bits and pieces where you can kind of restore that feeling. You switch around, you constantly do the different parts of what you're making. And then you refine that passion. The other thing I was gonna say, I'm also like, I'm not like diagnosed with ADHD, but I feel like my entire my entire personality is like pretty heavily defined by a balancing act between intense ADHD and intense like OCD and like autism. Because sometimes it just depends on what I'm doing. I'll be like so distracted. I cannot focus. I just cannot make if I am not interested in what I'm doing, it is so hard to make myself do it. That's why I have a caffeine addiction, because I have to like artificially make my brain like enjoy existing for a short amount of time. But if I like am actually interested in what I'm doing, I can just like hyper focus for like hours and hours on end. I can really like stick with a project I'm passionate about for months, and probably building that skill up, I could probably stick with something like that for years if I choose the right thing to go with. So for me, like that becomes a concern of like, wow, we don't live forever. I genuinely couldn't make every single idea I have and want to do within the span of my lifetime, and I also have to like, I don't know, survive and be a human being. So that's rough.
Simply touch grass.
Yeah, I have to remind myself to do that.
Yeah, relatable, I guess. And so I will do some little intervention. So, chat, ask your questions. I've told that before, like 15 minutes ago, I wrote that, but if someone listening in the background, you can now ask your questions. I will read them right now.
Cool.
And ask them to the jam. Okay, so the first question, Wobaduck, why?
I didn't create Wobaduck. Gigs RH created Wobaduck. Or Wobaduck is technically an electronic music artist that collabed with Coldbreaks to make the song Friends, and then Gigs RH, like years ago, back when he was known as Gigs Fan 11, made a level with that song called Wobaduck, and it used that iconic Wobaduck design. And then Gigs is the one who has been getting like dozens of creators to put Wobaduck in their levels for years, and it just so happened that I was one of the creators. He made a deal with me. He was putting like one of my OCs called Boblo. He's from Simplest Disco, it's an old level of mine. He was putting that character in like all his levels. He's like, if I do that, will you put Wobaduck in all your levels? I was like, okay, yeah, I'll do that. Ever since, I think there's like a couple levels I forgot to add Wobaduck into. I know, it's horrible sin, but for the most part, I've been adding Wobaduck to all my levels, and I think at this point, people think that I invented Wobaduck, which I didn't. And actually, it's pretty easy to disprove the idea that I invented Wobaduck, because the game includes Wobaduck icons, and the icon contest for the icons added in 2.2 was long before like Glorious Fortress or 100 Hours, where because I had the part in 100 Hours pretty early on in the video where I added Wobaduck, and I think that exposed a lot of people to Wobaduck. But it's kind of fun. It's like this weird, mysterious character where no one really knows where it comes from.
Yeah, but he's silly. So, what's up with Reddish? I don't know why they're asking, but what's up with Reddish?
What's up with Reddish?
Yes, Reddish.
Wait, I don't know what that means.
I don't know either.
Can we pick a different question?
Okay.
Yeah.
So the question: as a big creator, do you feel Shady School asking? As a big creator, do you feel like you understand your own impact on the community? Do you still make your levels for enjoyment or prefer the community interaction? Oh, that's a really good question, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's so weird for me to like comprehend the my impact on the community, and the fact that like there are thousands of people that have their eyes on what I'm doing and look to me as like inspiration and just like are paying attention to what I'm doing. And that's like so hard for me to comprehend because it's like so much not that way in real life. I'm just like a reclusive hermit most of the time. And so like I still am not fully used to that. And I don't know if I ever will be. As far as how I create my levels, I create levels for my own personal fulfillment. I want to like be proud of what I make. I don't create my stuff for other people, but at the same time, like I want to create the ideas that I'm excited about, and then I want to develop those ideas into something other people can enjoy, and that makes me happy, like making my own ideas into a real thing that like impacts other people, like sharing what matters to me, sharing like my own personal feelings and emotions and ideas and thoughts, and like creating something that gives other people an experience that is like meaningful. Because I'll be honest, one of the biggest reasons I do all of this in the first place, and one of the biggest things that keeps me going, is because I've been creatively inspired by many people. You know, I watch a lot of YouTube channels, you know, like Hermitcraft, or like, you know, Xylonox was a big inspiration for me back in the day. You know, I see Jonathan GD spending all this time on levels. I see all these people like putting their passion and effort into creating something that like excites me. And like Toby Fox is a big role model for me with Undertale and Deltarune. And it's weird for me to comprehend that I actually have kind of like stepped into those shoes just because like that matters so much to me. And that's something I've wanted, that I'm kind of there now. And that's like, wait a second, I was heading this direction, like towards where those people are that have inspired me. And now I'm looking back and I'm kind of on the same hill as them. Maybe not as high up, but like that is, I can't even comprehend that like fully all at once. I don't know. I don't know if that makes any sense.
It makes, but like I'm so sorry, but I'm almost burst out of laughter because people said that you've let me quote bro speaking ancient language. Jam is speaking glitch English. Like your microphone is like doing some on a stream, not here. Like not here on a stream somehow. But still, this is funny. I don't know. Should I leave it as it is?
Buy my course.
Ooh.
I have to buy my course to learn more.
So the next question. Boom, 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 boom. Let me pick one. Ask him. Amatsu asking. Ask him if he does any type of art outside of the game, or if he is planning to.
1 second. No, sorry.
Do you want to do
Art
some art?
is it's like, the thing is, I have like a, what I call like a Hank Green / Toby Fox / Bill Wirtz kind of complex, where I just want to like do everything. I want to get good at everything. Those are some creators I've noticed that have that same kind of just thing that they deal with, where they just want to know how to do it all. And art is definitely a big one, but it's just so hard. Like, art takes so much dedication to get good at, and I do like sit down and draw sometimes. I have done a little bit of art. I've been meaning to try to do like a little bit of art studies every day, but it's just not been something I've gotten around to because, like, to be honest, I have a hard time with unfamiliar things and really like sitting down and dedicating myself to something when I don't have a clear idea of what direction I'm going. Art's just been something where I think when I learn skills, I learn them. I'm a very project-oriented person. And so I create these big projects, these big like video and level ideas that I want to make, and then I will naturally learn the skills I need to make that thing happen. But when it comes to like sitting down and just like practicing a skill, every day, if I don't have a clear idea of what that's working towards, it's really hard to make myself do that. And so that's something I've really struggled with art, because I want to get better at like being an artist. And obviously I'm not going to become like a master. Because if you want to do everything, you can't be a master at it all. But you can be good at a bunch of them. I could definitely improve my art skills. I'm just trying to figure out, like, because I need to take a very unique approach to that if I'm going to make it work, and I'm just trying to figure out how that works, I guess. So I want to do more art, though.
That's great. Did you saw that hard as fuck picture of gnome with like a gnome by Kuluk? Did you saw that?
Wait, a gnome by Kuluk?
Yes, it is on his Twitter. I don't. It is an old work, but it goes really hard.
I gotta look this up.
Okay, so I will, like, while you're searching, I will search for the next question. So the next question from the fellow chat is, boom, boom, boom. Do you plan on continuing making creator contests?
Yeah, I have some other ideas. I'll keep doing those. I can't share any of the ideas I have right now, obviously, because I don't want to spoil them. But I have a few other ideas
Fair.
for contests after CC5. I have a really cool idea for CC6 that it's pretty unconventional. It's going to be very different from any creator contests I've seen so far. But I think it'll make for some like really, really cool projects, and I'm really excited about it, but I can't spoil more than that.
So the next question is, by the way, that question was from. Wait, I forgot. That was previous question from them, and the next question. Really interested in law of diamonds in gems levels. I am too. Like, actually, what's up with them? It's like some gems, like from the Sonic or what?
I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, no, I just thought it would be funny to like copy the Chaos Emeralds. I don't know. I like having these little references to games, like, you know, in Gem Factory and like Gem Skirts. I have all these Portal references and stuff, and then with the gems, I just reference the Sonic and the Chaos Emeralds. I'm just kind of like directly like in the full know that I'm ripping these things off. I'm just directly ripping them off just for the fun of it. As far as the lore behind the gems, I have like a very Scott Coffin kind of Cawthon, not Coffin. He's not dead. Kind of way of approaching making lore where I just kind of like BS it as I go.
Yeah, it's completely fair, by the way. And I think my theory is when you gather all of the gems, you will like not become a immortal powerful creature like the Supersonic. Like, it will do like the goofiest shit imaginable. Oof. My speaking abilities left me for a second.
It's okay. Talking's hard.
Especially is if it language you speaking is not your main language. So yeah, that's completely fair.
My mantra in life is English is my second language, despite being the only one I speak.
I'm so sorry, but yeah, I guess I'll stick to this mantra too. So, but with Russian. Yeah, John is incredible when it comes to attention to detail. Almost every level of his feels like a carefully crafted piece of art. Even on stuff like Future Funk 3, there are some sparks of care that one part with the bubble sauce. I guess it is Jonathan GD, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that was really funny, like how he put like genuine effort into that level. That was
well, yes. But by the way, the most like Chad move in the 1st of April is from the Dev GT when he teasered Crazy 4, and I guess this is a genuine teaser.
Wait, bro, that's great. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's like his drops. I wanted some like goofy stuff from him, like with Future Funk 3, but this feels like a genuine teaser for
It still says
for the
April
project.
Fools at the end, though.
Yeah, but still, maybe he's really teasering that. Like, maybe he's, I don't know, gatekeeping it. Like,
Yeah, I love when people like actually genuinely drop like real things on April Fools. Like when it was Joe, the guy who made Dog of Wisdom, just dropped Dog of Wisdom 2 after like 9 years
yeah.
on April Fools. That was so good.
Oh, and about April Fools, we will return to the chat. So I'm sorry, but I want to ask this: your opinion on Golden Hope?
Golden Hope.
MLG level, like
Oh, the MLG level.
yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
god, my brain went blank. It's a masterpiece of a level. I gotta be honest.
Like how I discovered about this level. My friend Angara Riva, he was a playtester of this level. He sent me a link, like said post it on the post it on the news channel. I'm a part of the one Telegram news channel for the Russian community, and we did a 1st of April event where we posted like some goofy fake news, and he sent me this link. I waited. I thought, this will be some like some collab that will be forgotten for like day after, but this was that good. I was like jumped into this era like in the 2014s. I was like shocked of the quality of this level.
It's so perfect. Like the way it just captures that era like perfectly. It's great.
The transitions are peak. Like seriously, this is the best transitions I've ever seen.
It was really cool seeing like on Twitter that the person who made the 360 no scope transition was actually inspired by the 3D transition in Glorious Fortress.
Oh, I saw that tweet. I thought the tweet he made it in Minecraft, yes.
That's so sick. Like he made it in Minecraft. I love seeing when like people see something that I do and like make something even cooler, like by taking clear inspiration from something I've made. That is like one of the most fulfilling and like cool things to see. Like I made something that was like kind of cool, and then this other person took that idea and like pushed it even further and made this thing. I love seeing that. Like that's really awesome.
Okay, so next question from the chat. Undercover asking, how do you enjoy making videos documenting your process in comparison to making a GD level? Is YouTube or GD the top priority?
Sorry, what was that last part?
Is YouTube or GD the top priority?
Both. I don't know.
Like yeah, how do you enjoy it?
Like, they take different approaches, but they like tie into each other. I used to be much more oriented around making GD levels. I think that's just because it was what I was familiar with. I knew how to make it good. I like things where I know how to make it good. I don't, when I'm unfamiliar with how to make something or how to do something and I can't do like a good job of it, then I don't like doing it. But I think as I started to like experiment with a little bit of content here and there, I have actually in these past couple of years gained like a genuine passion and interest for making content the way I want to make it. And so they both, I like doing both. They're both very fulfilling to me, but you know, they're two very different processes, except they tie together. They're kind of part of the same. They end up being the same process. You know, I make these 100-hour videos for like building a game and a game and a game. Now I'm doing some stream highlight videos with working on Little Mountain Town. I think that's the content I enjoy making more, when it ties into the level I'm making and they kind of feed each other. Because that strengthens both projects. People like see the level I made and they want to go watch the content about it, or they see the content about it and then they want to go check out the level. And then, so it's all, they're different parts of the process, you know. It's just like how in a GD level you make a layout, and then like you decorate that layout, and there's different like parts of decoration. There's like the block design, there's like the background, there's the more technical trigger work. It's kind of like that. It's just all these different pieces and like departments that you work in to create the final result. And my final results have shifted from just being a level to being both a level and like commentary and a story. Like I like very narrative driven videos where it's a story about how I made that level. And that's just kind of all part of the same thing that I'm creating, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Kinda agree with your statements. So yeah, nothing to add actually. And oh my god, I really forgot about your pronouns. Like you're they them, right?
Yeah, I'm not super picky on that. I don't care that much. They them is preferred.
Okay. So I because
yeah.
I'm not like what I should say adapted to pronounce. Because of my mentality, because in Russia we don't have them.
That's fair.
And it's prohibited. So yes, it's right now it's prohibited even. So
yeah, I've heard about that.
So yeah, I'm apologizing for a fact like so I won't be cancelled on Twitter.com.
Yeah. So it's good that you're aware of that.
Yeah, I'm aware because yes, it's make a person comfortable, and I don't want to break this comfort, especially on the podcast. Yes.
Yeah, and like don't worry about it. As someone who's grown up in like a pretty conservative area with like pretty conservative parents, granted, like very understanding parents who are like open to listening to other perspectives and aren't like oppressive or anything. But the norm around here is. Like that's pretty unusual. Like,
yeah,
just LGBT people in general are like not talked about much or thought about much here, and so it is. I can actually attest that there are some things that are weird to get used to, but it's just making the constant effort that helps. And then for me, I've kind of discovered that gender is like stupid. I don't like it. And so they them is what I usually go by.
Yeah, me myself, I'm like actually preferring to say that I'm a more bisexual than the straight, like really super straight male as I was before. Like, things can change in time, like especially when you're adult. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Especially, if you've grown up in a setting where it's very like hard nailed in the way that you're supposed to view those things, you can like not realize things about yourself, and then as you're exposed to other views, you kind of relate to these other things you didn't really know about, and that can kind of reshape the way you think of yourself. And that's just that way in general too, not just with like gender identity or sexuality or that stuff.
Yeah,
just exposing yourself to other like cultures and ideas like gives you new frames of reference, and you realize new things about yourself.
Yeah, can relate. Thankful my parents are like really supportive and like can relate to many stuff, but they can be strict. This is a part of the parenting, but still I'm really glad that they are really open-minded, like to the child.
That's good, and that's not something everyone gets, and that's something I've had to realize, like, and that has a big impact on people when their parents like aren't open-minded. That creates a lot of problems when that's what you're raised with. That's like your entire perception of the universe revolves around being raised like that,
Yeah, this is like a miscommunication between the parent and the child. It's really crucial part of the downfall of the mentality of the child, in my opinion. Like in terms of a teaching, because I'm studying like teaching right now.
Oh, nice.
Uh,
That's sick.
and like I would say that the adults should treat kids when they are in their puberty, especially like adults, because they
Yeah.
want it. They while a child hitting its puberty, oh my god, their puberty, they really want to be associated with adult group. So
Well,
and
yeah, when it
ma-
comes to that,
Hmm?
you learn from experience. So I think trying to place kids in a scenario where you're like, I'm going to trust you with these responsibilities and trust that you will come through, will make them actually care about doing that stuff, and it'll help them feel like have the confidence they need to grow as people, I guess.
Yeah.
Whereas when you try to just like shut off, not just with kids, but just people in general, when you try to tell people like push them off like, oh yeah, you can't do that. That's stay away from that. And obviously, you can't let anyone do anything all the time. There's some things where it's like you shouldn't let a child near like an electric saw unsupervised.
Yeah.
But, like you should give kids especially like opportunities to challenge themselves and explore themselves, because that's really important to like growing and developing as people.
Yeah. And okay, so let's continue to the questions from the chat. But we
fair enough.
we went from the geometry test to the parenting. But still, this is like a really cool theme to speak about. Like with Extrola, we spoke about so many things after the interview. We like he's a philosopher. He has a philosophic mind, and we went for over 4 hours of texting each other after that, like several days after the interview. So this philosophical or some themes unrelated to geometry test, I think this is not so like bad for this kind of stuff, because because
at the end of the day.
wait,
Sorry, go ahead.
yeah. Because this is a geometrical podcast, because I'm speaking with a person who in the community of Geometry Dash, like the somewhat popular or recognizable figure, and we can speak actually on the different themes, but especially we need to like keep the topics of Geometry Dash preferably, but like
you gotta steer it back to that here and there. I
Wait.
will say, like, everything is related to everything. So I think you always can like learn from really any topic that you could talk about and like apply it to any other topic. And so it's pretty easy to like steer things back towards the direction you're trying to take them. And it's important to like have that sense of direction of like, okay, I'm gonna think, because my brain is like wild and wants to go all over the place, but at the same time my brain like very much likes applying the things I learned to some kind of like project or goal. And so yeah, you really just take everything that you learn and you focus it in on like what your goal is of what you're doing. And I guess the goal here is just to talk about Geometry Dash. So what other questions you got?
Yeah, and like one more thing I want to speak. Like I actually want to make my like diploma theme about the games in general, how they can help with teaching, and want to include Geometry Dash as the main subject of my work, my diploma. So just fun fact. Yeah. So the next question. Oh my god, chat is so rapidly like spammed messages. I like that. About the YouTube.
I have an Apple Watch.
I have a question. What's your tip to new creators on how to not get discouraged to build levels by Cat Knights?
Don't set your expectations too high. You're new to the editor. Your stuff is probably gonna suck. That's okay. My stuff sucked too.
Yeah, you will not build like a level like first level like a Blee, so
Probably not. Yeah, you should enjoy creating. You're not going to get good at it if you don't enjoy it. So you should, if it's not fun for you, then maybe it's not for you, or maybe you're approaching it wrong. Like you should be having fun with it. You should just like enjoy experimenting and like trying things and seeing what they do and just like making stuff. And if you aren't enjoying that, then yeah, you're doing something wrong.
yeah. Science
And then
Flower.
you
Wait,
naturally just get better over time if you enjoy what you're doing. I was just gonna add that. Sorry, go ahead.
no, I'm sorry for interrupting. So yeah, I thought
No,
I thought you done. Okay, so the next question from Science Flower is somewhat a question. I'm kind of curious about what he thinks about GemCube by now, considering it's off his brand now. Even was
it's
Gem's
not.
YouTube avatar for a moment. I'm still so surprised.
Oh yeah, sorry. I realized that probably came across the wrong way. Was like I just didn't like it as my channel avatar, cause it was kind of like a generic like your GD icon,
Oh my god.
and then just like a basic background behind it, and that's something a lot of people do. I just wanted something like a little bit more unique and interesting for my profile, but I like it as like an icon that I play with. I just didn't like it as a profile picture. It's about the context you put these things in. That's one thing I'm realizing heavily is a lot of like things when it comes to like do I enjoy what I'm making? Do I like what I'm putting out there? It just depends on like the context I'm putting each thing into. Like for example, I've been trying to put out more videos like at least every other week, and I'm kind of noticing like the background music I choose. Like I can use the same exact background music in two separate videos, and then like one of the videos I just won't be liking at all, and I change the background music to something that fits the tone of that video better, and then like I suddenly like enjoy the video a lot more. You just got to make sure that like every aspect of what you're creating like fits its context. And for me, like my avatar for my channel is like it's like my face, you know?
Yeah.
That's what people see when they talk to me when I'm in YouTube comments or something. And so I just wanted like something with just like this chill, nice vibe to it. That's kind of warm and inviting. And when it comes to like my GD icons, the Jam Cube Scienflower made, it's really good. I like that as a GD icon to play with in the game. Yeah, I just didn't like it as a profile picture. I don't know if that makes sense. It's not personal though.
Yeah, it is makes sense actually, but I can relate because right now my profile picture is like many people said that my profile picture right now is like some sort of broken Bethesda logo. Like I was
Cool.
giggling, but still, the representation of the logo is really important, and I'm not judging your decision. It's like it's your channel. Come on, it is you.
Yeah.
So yeah. So the next question. I'm sorry, something in my throat. The next question is Shady is cool. What was your favorite level in terms of the creation process? Like, what was the most enjoyable level you have made?
That's hard to answer because I've enjoyed different things about different levels. I would say Cellar Path is definitely the level I'm most proud of, though it definitely was a bit of a grind. It was one of my bigger projects. I enjoyed that level. I did enjoy a lot of parts of it. As far as like the level I had the most fun making, probably just like one of my smaller projects, honestly. I remember having a lot of fun making Night Walking. I made that level in like a week, and it's like 3 minutes long, 40,000 objects, very basic level. I also really enjoyed making World. That level took like 140 hours, 2 minutes long, but that's like a smaller project compared to what I've been doing, so that was kind of nice. I just kind of messed around. That level's a lot more unstructured. It's more of like a effect level. So it's not like I'm trying to do like this realistic art. Well, not realistic, but like I'm not trying to make it look like these actual things that exist in real life. I'm just kind of like blocking out shapes and interesting designs and just messing with graphic design in it, and that was fun to just have that more free flowing ability to do whatever I wanted. I kind of want to make another level like that. Yeah, those are a few levels I've really enjoyed, and overall, just I've really enjoyed some of my smaller projects where I just have a really cool idea and then I make something like fairly quickly. I just haven't had as much inspiration for those kinds of projects lately. I've been exploring that more in videos, like when it comes to like small projects. I
Yeah.
think.
By the way, I want to ask you a question from Reddit because I made several Reddit posts about my podcast, and one of the questions for you is by Hopeful Sympathy 638. I have a question for JAMATTACK. If he can make his levels alive, how does he successfully insert a brain into the level, and what level of sentence do his levels have? Are they more powerful? Sentience, yes. Sentience do level have. Are they more powerful than humans? What spells does he use if he's a wizard?
Yeah, so I typically insert, it's like this new cutting edge AI technology that hasn't been released to the public, but basically it's like hyper intelligent. I expect my levels to be taking over humanity any day now, and the reign of JAMATTACK will begin.
Great.
But like, I do kind of want to seriously answer like about like how I bring my levels to life, particularly, and what that means.
Yeah,
If that
because
sounds good.
it is on title, so go on.
Okay. When it comes to that, I just want to say, like, give a shout out to Good Times with Scar again, and like how much I've learned from his videos and the way he approaches things. He very much does the same thing. He makes these Minecraft builds that he wants to bring to life and like create a story around. He tries to add like these atmospheric, immersive details, and I've really tried to bring that into Geometry Dash with what I do. I try to like create this cohesive environment. I talked about it a bit in my like CC5 announcement video, how to create a level that feels alive.
Yeah, I saw.
I just try to create this like world building. I create this environment that feels like you're really there. I try to add like little details, like like bugs and particles flying around in Cellar Path, for example. And music representation is huge. Having like wind or fog or like screen borders or just different details move to the song and carry the energy of the song does so much. So yeah, those are some of the things I focus on with bringing my levels to life, but also there's the hyper intelligent AI that I insert into them, and that does help.
Okay, so I shocked right now from this information, but still, the next question from the Reddit is, I hate to pronounce their nickname, but I need to. So, Adult Liquor for 20 asking, everyone, would you rather have unlimited bacon and no video games, or unlimited video games and no video games?
That's a question I've given a lot of thought. It's a hard question to answer because on a more surface level perspective, obviously, there's the bacon, and then you get no games, or you can have no games, but you can have games but have no games. So that's how that works. But if you really think about it on a deeper level, like what is a game, first of all?
Actually, I was thinking right now, and damn, like for real though, what is a game? Like some sort of video game, or like a board games. So like we have different like games. Yeah.
And like, how do we define a game? Is it just like it has like rules? You have like a goal that you're trying to accomplish, and you have rules about how you're able to accomplish that goal of the game, of how to win the game. You usually win a game.
Yeah.
And so like could chores be a game? Does that mean that I have unlimited chores but no more chores? Because that kind of changes the context.
Can agree.
And also, like, is it good bacon?
I don't know. So the next real question for now, how frequently do you get ideas for projects, levels, videos, creator, contests, etc., etc.?
All the time.
Do you
Yeah, all the time.
writing them like anywhere?
Sometimes. Yeah, I try to write some of my video ideas down in like a journal. What I've been doing is I'll like, if I have a really cool idea for a video, I'll like create a new folder in my Google Drive. I have like a YouTube scripts folder, and I'll create like a new subfolder, and I'll like write a document of like brainstorming ideas of what I include in there. Sometimes I'll just like free write part of a script for that idea, and I'll just kind of like get ideas out and kind of develop them a bit more so I can think about like what that video would look like if I made it. I have, when it comes to video ideas, when it comes to level ideas, literally anytime I like listen to a new song, my brain usually comes up with like an idea of a level I could make it to it. I probably have dozens of level ideas that will never exist. Contests, I don't come up with as many of those. I don't typically think about those, but those aren't that hard to come up with, especially since I usually have like 1 billion month deadlines. I have plenty of time to think of a new one.
Yeah. So the next one is by Gabi Legemur. How did you learn so many tricks in mathematics of animation? What I mean by that is, for example, making parallax and 3D effects as good as yours. How did you decide to sort of make that your thing?
Parallax in particular is something I do a lot, and that's just something I've learned over time, I guess. Just because I think it looks really cool when people execute it well in levels, and so I want to do the same. You know, I've been doing parallax for a long time, ever since I first started making levels. I understood how it worked. Further things move slower, closer things move faster. It's very basic. I really don't know how people get that aspect of it wrong. Like, it's pretty simple how that part works. When it comes to making like mathematically accurate parallax, I think I started to like figure out how to do that in Jam Factory, where I wanted it to be these like very like repeating patterns, like checkerboard floors and stuff. And I did all this crazy stuff like using a line X and like kind of scaling and spacing things at different values. But then I kind of just through trial and error and messing around, I realized that if you scale an object to like, it tells you the scale value, and you can use scale triggers now.
Yeah, it's way easier now.
You could scale it from like 1 times scale to like 0.8 times scale, and you just put down like a follow trigger, or now like a move trigger with lock to camera with a mod on it, and then you just set that to the same value as the scale, or
parallax is right now
that value -1.
Yeah, parallax is right now so easy to make, like way easier than in 2.1, to be honest.
Yeah,
with all the powerful tools.
2.1, the worst part about 2.1 is not being able to have vertical parallax, and that genuinely, like, most of Glorious Fortress is within bordered game modes, and all of Cellar Path is like that, and that's just because I've become more of a perfectionist over time, and I was starting to like hate the idea of having these like deep, like far off backgrounds that just like don't have vertical parallax at all. And so I had like the one part in Glorious Fortress, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna like manually set this up to make it follow the camera. It took like 20 hours to make it. But that was becoming like a real problem that was really bothering me, so I'm so glad that's not an issue anymore.
I can relate to this, because I'm actually working right now on fixing the Russian translation of the editor guide. Of editor guide, like this behemoth of the GD community.
That thing.
Yes, because the Russian translation is so ass. I seriously can't comprehend it, but still. And I learned about triggers really huge chunk of information I gathered from this document. So, and I'd say that the complexity of the 2.2 editor is really
It's
good thing.
crazy.
Yeah, it's really good thing for the creators, but
Yeah.
but
Um,
what we need right now. I'm sorry. I
Go
will
ahead.
end my speech. So, but now we need some sort of complete guide, video guide that covers all
Mhm.
of the things to, because visual learning is so much easier than
I agree.
yeah, that's reading a text.
Yeah, I've always been the kind of person where I don't learn very well from like reading manuals or on forums. Some people can learn by doing that. I don't. I have to like watch a video of someone actually doing it. With coding, I've always been very much that way. I have to actually like watch the person in a video doing it, and then I understand so much better. I was gonna say a couple other things. Uh, what was I gonna say? The 2.2 triggers are crazy. There's so much going on. We like genuinely needed the editor guide, but like back in my old days of 2.1 creating, we didn't have that. Like I had to learn how to create in 2.1 purely through just trial and error. Just trying stuff and seeing what they do and like messing around. Like I made jam scripts, I made this complex mini game, and I just like would see how things work by like trying stuff and like, okay, if I set these triggers up in this order, what did they do? Okay, let me debug that and break that down on how that's working. You learn so much by doing that, and I still take that approach. Like a lot of the time I won't even read the editor guide. I'll just like try settings and see what they do, because I like learning that way. But at the same time, there's also stuff where like I do genuinely, even with my level of skill and knowledge in the editor, I just have to read the editor guide, because otherwise it makes no sense, because everything's like terribly labeled and the names make no sense at all.
Yeah, with like I completely agree, and like the editor guide is such a powerful move from the like dev team right now, because I would say that RobTop have a team. Oh, hooray! Like seriously, you needed 10 years to understand that, but still, this is really great actually, and seeing that this was made by the community members, I would not say that Viprin is a community member. He's a community manager, I'd say,
Yeah.
but still. But Autonic, for example, like he's a community member, what I'd say. And many people who translated this document, like from Spanish, is really random people. I don't know them. And for the Russian translation, there's so much controversy raised up because of this. Like, this document in Russian was translated by 1.5 people, I'd say, because one person just auto-translated it, tweaked some things, and just plopped it to the rope and said done. And
that's why it's impossible to read. That makes sense.
Yeah, he just like bam, like here you go. And other that on the Russian translation for the editor worked 3 people. And why I'd say 1.5, because Bluffy actually did some tweaks by herself, but not too much. And this thing got into the official like site, and right now me with the only Geometry moderator from Russia, Kazviks, we're now fixing this problem to like make it really readable. So yeah,
that seems like I've never worked with like translation or stuff.
no, because you don't.
That seems like that would take a lot of work.
Yes, I actually when the Viprin mentioned the editor guide, I was like, yo, I want to translate that. And now my like 3 months of work begins. I genuinely like translated it by myself for 3 months, did 90% of the work, and then boom, the official Russian translation is out. I go, fuck.
That's
no.
Fun.
I like, but still, the Russian translation is like really shitty, so I'm not wasted my time. So GG.
Yeah, that's a wild emotional roller coaster, I'm sure.
Yeah, you are completely right. So
Oh,
the next the next, I guess, one of the last questions. Wait, I actually wait. Where is it? Actually, one of the members of the fellow chat community said that like asked, "Are you gay?"
No,
I
I'm like slightly bisexual, I would say.
yeah, as well as me. So yeah.
I'm like on the straight to gay scale of 0 to 100. I'm like a 20 maybe.
Okay. Oh, I'm not a hit for you. Ah, how pitiful. So,
I'm rejecting you.
no!
One guy asked me to be his Valentine, and I had to reject.
Oh,
Actually, no, that was because he was 16.
okay. Then that makes sense. Okay, so yeah, you like
Actually, that doesn't apply. Never mind. There's a different issue.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess that's all of the questions from the chat. Yeah, that's all, I guess. If I like left someone, I'm so sorry, but yeah. Actually, we are now speaking for almost 2 hours, like with extra. So yeah.
Yeah, dang, the time is really passed by.
Like for real. So, like, if the conversation is good, then why not? Why not? The time flew like by.
Yeah. Yeah, that was fun.
By the way, well, like, if we are like actually nearing the end of the podcasts, I'd say, because the viewer count is declining, I have no more questions right now, and still I need to go to sleep because I need to go tomorrow to the uni. So
I just have
yeah,
one question for you.
for me, okay. So
It's a question I just came up with. So this is one I kind of wish you asked me, but I'll just ask it to you instead. It's pretty original, I think. Would you rather have unlimited bacon but no games?
Oh my.
Or unlimited games but unlimited games but no games?
Oh my fucking. I'd say that I will prefer the unlimited games but no games instead of bacon.
Why? Do you hate bacon?
I'm not hating bacon, but unlimited games but no games. Like, I love production stuff and want to see what is it about. Like,
jump into the deep end.
Yeah.
Only way to learn what that is by
accepting,
yes,
accepting the offer.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and by the way, if we're nearing the end of the podcast, and I want to ask you, this is your first podcast, like this is your first time in this format. So, how do you feel after this 2 hours of constant speaking?
It's not too bad because, to be fair, I stream a lot and I'm like constantly answering like questions in chat, so it's not too foreign to me. I will say, like, there's definitely a lot of skills that go into like doing podcasts that I haven't learned. I would say I'm definitely a rambly person. It just kind of runs in my family. So I'm sorry if I kind of would like go on and on and on and like not let you talk.
You don't see you don't see previous episode with Extrola. Like, Extrola was the main face. Like, he spoke like 80% of the time. Yeah. Like, this is not an issue. This is exactly what I wanted. Actually, I really So this is not an issue.
I need to go back and watch the rest of that episode.
Yeah. Shady is cool asking. Okay, one last question. Ask if Jam has wish listed Flick on Steam. Do you wish listed it?
What is the? Maybe
I don't know. I don't know what is it, but how shameful of you.
Yeah, I know I'm a horrible person.
Oh no. Look it up. Okay, so I'm starting to cancel you.
What's Flick? Oh, this looks cool. It's like a very simple game. Oh, it's by Shady is cool. That's why.
Oh wait, damn. Okay, I will wish list.
They just told me to wish list. Bro, just advertise their game. And
bro, this is actually really good. I would +2 this.
You know what? I'll add it to my wish list. This looks cool.
Yeah. And I will gather some feedback from the chat. So, the last people who stand here, how did you like this episode? Did you like me as a host and the JAMATTACK as a guest? So, write your feedback right now, and I will need that for future reference. What I should add, what I should remove. So yeah, and please, Jam. This will become a tradition for the streams for the English audience. So what's up with my English? Like, is it like bearable and is it good for you?
Oh. Yeah, no, your English is fine. It's good. You talked very like clearly, cohesively. I could understand like the questions you were asking when you were like telling your own stories. It's a good test if I'm able to follow what you're saying, because I am horrible generally at following what people are saying. And I followed like the stuff you were talking about pretty well. I didn't have any issues. There were like only a couple times ever where I like wasn't sure what you said. For the most part, it was really good. So you're doing good.
Yeah, thank you so much, because like, yeah, this is not my first language, so I'm really glad that you like being here. I'm really glad that people joined and like feedbacking, asking questions, and etc. So, in that note, I will conclude the stream. I will conclude the podcast. So everyone here, I'm really thankful. Yeah. So I would say that this is not the end of the series. So if you want to follow this, like, subscribe, hit the bell, what YouTubers asking.
Don't forget to wishlist flicks on Steam.
Yes, by Shady School. Don't forget that. And I'll see you the next time.
Bye bye.